Alrighty, guys. The Warriors lost today to the Utah Jazz by a pretty sizable amount. It was kind of a boring game to watch. I guess the best highlight for the Warriors was the fact that they were wearing these jerseys, but no, that's besides the point. The Warriors lost to the Jazz in Utah by a final score of 127 to 108. And it was a very ugly game, to say the least, from the start. The Warriors were down 14 to nothing to start. They were down 19 to 2 at one point. They just couldn't really. They made it a 9-point game at halftime, but from there, they couldn't come back. And I guess another thing to point out is that Curry passed Reggie Miller for the second most 3-pointers ever, which I guess is cool. But it would have been cooler if they won, and like I said, in style. But no, the Warriors lost, and now they will move to 8-8. The Jazz have won 8 games in a row now, so the Jazz are a scary team to be on the lookout for. They're one of the best, if not the best, 3-point shooting teams in the NBA. For the Jazz, Bojan Bogdanovic had 14. Donovan Mitchell had 23 points. Jordan Clarkson had 14. Ingles had 13. Mike Conley Jr. had 17. And he, from the start, I'm pretty sure he was like 3 for 3 on 3-pointers because Curry wasn't really playing like good defense on him. Royal Neal had 9. And then they had the bench players come out with some more. For the Warriors, Stephen Curry had 24 points. James Wiseman had 15. Wiggins had 13. Draymond Green had 4. Jordan Poole had 10. He was coming off the bench. He usually doesn't play, so I guess it's kind of cool to see him out there. Mannion came out for a bit. He had 8, which is good to see because he is our rookie. And yeah. Juan Toscano Anderson had 3. Bazemore had no points. Bazemore has been struggling a little bit lately with turnovers, stuff like that. So we got to get him back on track. And yeah, it wasn't a good game for the Warriors. I think they're gonna have games like this, and it's weird because like I said earlier, they beat the Lakers. So it's kind of weird that they'll beat the Lakers, but then they'll lose to teams like the Knicks. And I mean, nothing against the Jazz. The Jazz are a very good team. They're probably the hottest team in the NBA right now. They've won 8 games in a row, like I said. However, I still think the Lakers are heavy favorites, right? And the fact that we beat them kind of proves that we have the potential when Oubre plays good, or when, Oubre tonight, he had 5 points. So, not the best game. The Warriors next will play the Timberwolves 2 times at home. So hopefully they can beat them. The Timberwolves, they're not as well as they were. Obviously they have a pretty good team on paper. They have D'Angelo Russell, Karl Anthony Towns, stuff like that. But, I don't know. We'll see. After that, they'll play the Suns. So kind of a interesting schedule coming up. And we're going to see what happens. It's been an interesting year so far. The Warriors are currently 8th in the Western Conference. I don't know if that really means anything, but this was a bad game for them. Like I said, slow start. They were down 14 to nothing, and they just couldn't get anything going. I think it's mostly the defense. Their offense is slow too, but the fact that their defense isn't stopping the opposing team from producing and getting offensive rebounds, stuff like that. Like, Wiseman's a good defender and a good rebounder, but sometimes he isn't the best at getting those chances and preventing other teams from having chances. But we'll see what happens. Warriors lose, like I said, final score 127 to 108. So pretty sizable deficit there. And we'll move on to the next one. Thank you guys so much for watching.